What do you do when you reach your boiling point? How you handle this emotion can either make or break your relationship. Hi, everybody, and welcome to today's segment of YouNiquely One. We're going to talk today about anger. Anger is a very strong emotion. It's an intense emotional state. Other words that can be used for it is wrath, rage, and it's causes of feelings of annoyance, displeasure, or hostility. So what are some things that causes anger? At this particular time, you may be experiencing some anger that you really don't even understand as a result of the unknown and all of the uncertainties that's going on. So anxiety can be secondary to the times. Just like I said, not understanding or knowing, what is ahead. But still remember to trust and have your faith in the Lord. We can experience anxiety because of nervousness, because of hurt, and anger, can also be caused by stress. Anger can also be caused by disappointment, grief, and embarrassment. So there are many reasons why a person can display anger.
And when you speaking of the subject of anger usually have underlying causes. Anger is, I think we saw one time, one of the greatest example of anger is an iceberg that at the top you see a little tip of ice, but then up under the water is just a huge mass of ice that's there. And so we always use the terminology tip of the iceberg. That lets you know that a lot of times anger is not the specific conversation that you having at that time. It can be a build-up. It can be things that have happened that have contributed to this moment as things have came up to a boil, have came to a head. Now we anger, and our anger is directed at our partner, directed at our spouse, directed at whoever we're talking to, and then it seems to start boiling. And then on the other side, we're all defensive. When we are feeling that we are attacked, we get on the defensive, and we have a verbal sparring going back and forth. A battle is taking place, but someone in that relationship has to take control of the situation. What someone has to do something about it. Someone maybe have to step away if necessary, because it's hard to argue with yourself. So when you walk away, that person can only argue with itself for just so long. And then you can get control of the situation by sometimes taking a deep breath. Sometimes you may have to walk away and take a deep breath. But there are times that you can just pause and take a deep breath and de-escalate the situation and say a prayer. This is a time prayer is much needed. And be so specific about the problem. A lot of times when we talking about one problem, we bring in another one and another one and another. We bring in other situation, avoid blaming and because nobody want to be the blame. And then let's just be honest. Most situations where two people are involved and there's a problem, the majority of the time, both of them contributed to the problem some. And avoid name calling and calling people not by the name, saying hurtful words. Hurtful words, they stay in the atmosphere. And guess what? It's something about man. When you say something, they don't forget. You can apologize, but it's still there when you start talking hurtful words. And most of all, do not use intimate information to speak hurt. Because that's not only hurt now, even though you may clean it up, even though you may apologize to each other, But when you use confidential, intimate information to hurt in this situation, then that also shuts the door down the line for the conversations that you need to have. It shuts the door for that person sharing intimate information with you, because they know that you might use it later as a weapon. So, so that will hurt your relationship long term. It takes time to get over when someone has portrayed your intimate information. That's something that only they want to share with you, but then they find out that they can't trust you with all their heart has to say.
And remember that words have life. Words have power. The saying, as I think I've said once before, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. That's not true. We know that words do have life and words have power, and they can affect people for years if they do not know how to heal from it or let it grow. So you want to be careful with the words that we speak so that we don't have to regret those in the future. And something to remember too, I know that there are times when you're gonna have negative thoughts, maybe about your spouse or your partner, whoever you're with. You want to remember that even though you may have a negative thought, counteract that. For every negative thought that you have, you want to speak something positive, and you want to speak that out loud, because if you hear that, that helps you to be better than letting those negative thoughts grow in your mind. And continue to be respectful to each other. Don't ever lose respect, and learn to listen. And listen to understand. Don't only just listen to speak or to give a response, but listen to understand. Stephen Covey, one of his principles of the 7 habits of effective people is that you seek to understand first. So listen and try to understand what the other individual is saying. So seek first to understand.
And as the word said, of all things to get thee first understanding. And we just love you, and we just want you to love each other and to continue to grow with each other as you move through this time and this situation that we find ourselves in. And remember that you are uniquely one.
Our Gmail address is YouNiquely1 and the number 1. Remember to like and share and to subscribe.